Good morning to Wolf Biology students. It's me, Mr. Cheney, with another brilliant tutorial. This is a three-part series. The first one I'm going to go through is Interactivity Multicellular Life. This is a textbook assignment number 5 in our Google Classroom thing. So when you click on this link, it will take you to our online textbook, Easy Bridge. And the first one we're going to do is Multicellular Life. And I just want to go through and show the screens that are involved, how the answers are found, and that's how we do it. So multicellular life, levels of organization for the cardiovascular system. So we've been going through these things with the Khan Academy stuff and just supplementing them with the textbook stuff as well. So here's the levels that we've been talking about. So we have the cell level. Individual smooth muscle cells can contract and relax. Then a bunch of cells make up a tissue. So the tissue level, the smooth muscle layer, contains a group of similar cells that help regulate blood pressure. Then we go to the organ level. So arteries are made of tissues needed to transport oxygenated blood from the heart to the body cells. And then lastly, we have an organ system level. And in this case, the cardiovascular system includes organs that work together to transport blood throughout the body. So that's the different levels when we're talking about cells, tissues, organs, and then organ systems. Go to the next page, and then based on that information, our instructions say we're going to take a look at a different system, and you're going to drag the pictures in order to show the levels of organization. So just like we saw on the previous screen, you want to go from smallest to biggest as far as the organization hierarchy. So you're going to drag these to where they belong. Least complex all the way to most complex. Okay, screen 3. We're going to read through these screens right here and you'll answer this question based on the information that's here. So what it says is it's about cell specialization. The structures of many kinds of cells are directly related to their functions. Take a look at a few examples, and then after we look at these examples, we'll answer the question, which of these cell types would you expect to find in muscle tissue? So this one, the squamous cells. Squamous cells provide a thin layer to facilitate rapid diffusion of material through the cells and into another layer of tissue. So basically, letting things into cells and letting things out of the cell. Stellate cells have long extensions that provide a physical connection to easily communicate with other cells that are far away. So basically, nerve cells. Discoid cells have a large amount of surface area to quickly diffuse substances in and out of the cells. And then lastly, fibrous cells are long and heavily packed with contractile protein fibers to enable contraction and relaxation. So knowing those 4 types of cells, what would be the answer to this question? Slide 4. Your responsibilities for this is to read each of these 4 things, which will help you answer the question in the next 2 slides. So, some cells have different kinds or numbers of organelles to support their specialized functions. This diagram shows the levels of organization involved in producing insulin, a protein hormone needed to control blood sugar. Here's the key word, protein. Insulin is a protein hormone. Click on each hotspot to learn about specialized functions. Alright, so clicking on the first one, we've got the organ. The pancreas is an organ that produces both digestive enzymes for the small intestine and hormones for the bloodstream. We click to the next level, and so we're going from more complex to least complex now. So we did the organ first, now we have the tissue. So we have the islet of Langerhans, the tissue. It's an area of tissue in the pancreas with cells that produce insulin, glucagon, proteins, keyword again, proteins that signal other body cells to increase or decrease their uptake of glucose from the blood. And we'll click on this, the beta cell. Each beta cell within the islet of Langerhans is responsible for producing insulin, again, insulin being a protein. And then lastly, click over here, and that's the endoplasmic reticulum, which is an organelle within a cell, so a smaller part of a cell. Rough endoplasmic reticulum within each beta cell contains ribosomes needed to produce insulin, which is a protein. Alright, So, based on all of that information that we just read through, so pancreas to the islet to Langerhans to the beta cell to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, propose an explanation as to why beta cells would have a greater concentration of rough endoplasmic reticulum and ribosomes than some other cell types. We talked about a key word in all three of those descriptions in the previous section, so base your answer on these information cards. And then lastly, we have a question about this graph. So the graph shows the percentage of the cell that mitochondria fill by volume. The greater the percentage, the more mitochondria. What is the function of mitochondria? We know that mitochondria is what they call the powerhouse of the cell. That's where the energy comes from. So why do heart cells have a higher percentage of mitochondria than liver and pituitary gland cells? Just knowing what the heart does for the body. It pumps blood throughout the entire body. Left ventricle, left atrium, the heart muscles, one of the most powerful muscles in the human body. Why would they need more energy with more mitochondria as opposed to just the liver or pituitary gland? Answer those questions. Make sure that all your check marks are complete. If you have missing ones, you go back and make sure you completed the exercise correctly. Then you turn it in, you get a grade, and I put it in the grade book. And that's it for the multicellular life in the Savvas textbook. I'll see you back in class.